And I'm noticing too, even within the church, that kind of climate is changing slightly, where it's not like, oh, let's air out all our dirty laundry and, not pursue righteousness. I'm seeing it actually shift to like, hey, let's air this out and let's move towards righteousness. And
Oh,
the thing I love about this is that you're making purity cool. Like you're making it like, hey, this is something you want. This is, if any of you guys, if any of you ladies out there or fathers have had a hard time having the talk with, maybe you've got a young daughter who's in her teens, or maybe she's even, in her early 20s. I don't know. This book is great. Like it really is. I just finished it last night. I got lots of notes. But it's I loved how raw and real it was. And I think that that's something that I know millennials, but even younger, really crave authenticity. And you really kind of rip the facade off of all this and say like, yes, I'm a preacher's daughter. Yes, I'm, all these things, but even I struggle with these things, and how honest it was. And the thing I love is that, yes, it's very honest and real, and it might make some people uncomfortable, but it's you're always pointing back to Jesus and that pursuit of holiness and righteousness. And I think that's so important, because you don't sacrifice the relatability of like, oh, she struggles with this too. Me too, so.
Yeah. My entire life, I was just looked at as the goody two-shoe. I actually was going to name it Goody Two-Shoe, but Good Girl just sounded better. But I was made fun of, like, the little saint, don't say that around her. And as I got older, people didn't know that I struggled with some of these things. I was terrified to tell anyone because I was the good girl. She's perfect. She doesn't deal with anything. Yeah. And the devil really messed with me and kept me in the dark for a while, until I finally broke free and told my best friend, hey, I've been dealing with this. This is what happened to me. This is the abuse I went through. And she wasn't shocked. Like, she dealt with stuff too. Guys, we all deal with something. We're humans. Yeah. And it's so important that we bring it to the light. Bring it to the light, and we allow Jesus to free us. Yeah. And heal whatever it is that we're going through.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like it does, even pursuing righteousness costs something. And so I think before the show, I had told you that both my wife and I were virgins when we got married. And that's not to say it was a walk in the park. It was not, No. It absolutely was not. And there were a lot of boundaries that had to be, put, there were boundaries that were violated on both our sides, but I think that it's important to address those things. That I think we are getting to this point where it's becoming like, when I was younger, we didn't talk about pornography. We didn't talk about all these other issues. It was just, don't do this. Okay, we're good. Okay, bye.
Just wait.
This is way too uncomfortable for me. We're done. Just don't do it.
Yeah, true love waits.
Yeah, true love waits. But really, the thing that's great about this book is that because it's kind of part memoir, personal memoir, you talking about your experiences and what you learned and what God showed you through those things, it's really going to give a lot of people, a lot of women, especially young women, especially, kind of a playbook in some ways. Not that their life is going to look exactly the same, but the principles are the same. What you learned through those things are very much universal. And so, man, it's so good. It's great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So everybody, if you're already like, well, I gotta get the book now, there's a link in the description. So please, do you do the thing where you buy from your website, then you'll handwrite a note? Do you still do that?
Oh yeah, I handwrite a note to every single buyer. I pray over the book, and I really ask the Holy Spirit, like, what do you want to say to this person? Yeah. So every book is signed and handwritten note, and I pray over it. So yes, go get the book.
Yeah, buy it from her website. Link in the description. You know the drill, people. So.